Donald Trump's victory and his powerful comeback have turned him into a symbol of resilience and determination. Despite relentless efforts by his opponents to remove him, accusations that his first win was due to Russian support, 2 impeachments, dozens of lawsuits, and even 2 assassination attempts, Trump refused to give up. After narrowly escaping, he raised his fist and shouted, "Fight on!" Following his victory, Trump promised swift changes for the American people. There was no shortage of people who considered Trump finished, including the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic, whom his supporters see as the epitome of insight, awareness, and foresight. He once predicted that Trump had been cast into the trash heap of history and would never return. Sayyid Ali Khamenei referred to Qasem Soleimani, who was killed by Trump, as eternal and immortal. He predicted that Trump would eventually be lost to history after paying the price for his actions. Now, many view Trump's broad and decisive return, with strong public support, as a sign of Ali Khamenei's weakness in analyzing and predicting political events and international developments. They argue that Trump has returned from the dustbin of history. Gaza and Lebanon were not destroyed, Haifa and Tel Aviv were not reduced to rubble, American oil did not run out in 2021. And while both war and negotiations occurred, no substantial revenge was taken for Soleimani, the nuclear deal wasn't burned, and the country hasn't reached any significant peak. Indeed, they argue, the fate of Iran is in the hands of someone whose predictions have repeatedly failed. Ali Khamenei is not simply a political analyst whose mistaken analyses come with no consequences. He is the leader of a nation and the head of a historical country like Iran. While this interpretative weakness may be shameful and scandalous for a leader, for the nation he leads by circumstance, it is destructive. On June 13, 2019, Shinzo Abe, then Prime Minister of Japan, sought him out to mediate and pave the way for negotiations between him and Trump. But, driven by stubbornness and such analyses, Khamenei refused, declaring that Trump wasn't even worthy of an exchange of messages. Trump's return has rubbed salt in the wounds of people who watched as the Islamic Republic squandered political opportunities, seeing their youth and potential slip away. These are the people who, when Trump contracted COVID-19, prayed for his recovery from the heart of Tehran, hoping he might somehow free them from the Islamic Republic's grip. Now that Trump is back, everyone is asking what he will do about the Islamic Republic. Will he go as far as seeking regime change, or will he settle for negotiating over Iran's nuclear and missile programs? Following Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 presidential election, the state-affiliated Sobh-e-Satare newspaper wrote, "Unfortunately, the news is not encouraging. The countdown to a possible conflict between the Islamic Republic and Israel has begun." They noted that recent events appear to be pushing Iran closer to a confrontation with Israel. Additionally, the government-linked Etemad website ran the headline, "Tehran's stock market shaken by Trump's victory." In a leaked audio file, Mohammad Javad Zarif once said that the government didn't understand the urgency, thinking there would always be more time. But now, as these discussions resurface, Trump has come and gone, only to return once more, and the unique opportunity for a deal with the Democrats has slipped away for the Islamic Republic. There are differing opinions on what Trump might do regarding the Islamic Republic. Some argue that Trump is a deal maker, and since he has repeatedly stated that he is not seeking regime change, he would not push for its downfall if the regime concedes. However, others believe that this is not the Trump of 4 years ago. This Trump has returned with a mission to break and dismantle, as conservatives traditionally push for major transformations, even more than leftist revolutionaries. This theory is especially strengthened by the possibility of all 3 branches of U.S. government, White House, Congress, and Senate, falling under Republican control, which many see as signaling the end of the Islamic Republic's defiance and the revolutionary posturing of 1979's leaders. Even more daunting for the regime is that this time, Trump is unlikely to approach negotiations from a position of equality. Journalist Mohsen Salahica angrily states, congratulations to everyone who brought Iran to this point with fantasies like a hard winter, 60% enrichment, IAEA resolutions, being the region's top power, and bizarre involvement in the Ukraine war. You didn't negotiate then. Now you'll have to put much more on the table. Some observers are assuring those opposed to the Islamic Republic that Trump has no interest in seeing the regime maintain a presence in the Middle East. Nationalist Iranians, pleased with Trump's return, nevertheless believe that saving Iran is not Trump's responsibility. It is a duty that falls on the Iranian people themselves. It seems that Trump will stand alongside Israel and Netanyahu to completely dismantle the Islamic Republic's proxy forces. However, there is still much speculation about what he will do directly with the Islamic Republic itself. That said, almost all observers agree that pressure on the regime will intensify, and Netanyahu's hands will be freer. Nevertheless, when the Islamic Republic's existence is at risk, it will likely resort to any means necessary. Netanyahu and his wife congratulated Trump, calling his victory the greatest comeback in history. They told Trump that his return to the White House marks a new beginning for America and a renewed, powerful commitment to the great alliance between Israel and the U.S. This is a real victory, they said. Afterward, Netanyahu and Trump spoke for about 20 minutes on matters concerning the Middle East, Israel, and Iran. While no one knows the exact details of the conversation, it is clear that Iran stands at a major historical crossroads. The question remains whether the supreme leader of Iran, with his level of analysis and foresight, can contend with a powerful and combative figure like Donald Trump. Given his track record, which many consider disastrous, what will the future hold for Iran? An Iran where foreign diplomats learn its language and ambassadors like the South Korean envoy beautifully sing its songs. Iran's economy cannot bear the heavy burden of a regional conflict. Ali Bigdeli, international affairs expert. Due to the close alignment between Israeli and American leaders, the likelihood of an expanded war and confrontation has increased. Therefore, our officials must inform the public and develop a logical and well-grounded strategy to deal with potential policies from Washington and Tel Aviv, as it's clear that the country cannot withstand an escalation in conflicts. Our economy cannot sustain the heavy burden of regional conflicts, especially if they spill over into the country. According to recent figures, Tel Aviv has allocated nearly $273 billion in military spending on these conflicts. This point is crucial, as Israel appears to be attempting to provoke a confrontation with Iran, a trap Iran must avoid, as it would be extremely costly for the country. Israel Hayom. Israel has sent threatening messages to Bashar al-Assad, warning that if he doesn't cooperate in preventing arms transfers from his territory to Lebanon, he could face a fate similar to that of Hassan Nasrallah. Chief of Staff of Israel's armed forces has approved expanding ground operations in southern Lebanon. Al Arabiya, citing a source in Hamas, "We have offered Fatah full control over Gaza, including management of border crossings and security. We have yet to receive a response from Fatah regarding the proposal discussed in Cairo. Fatah, we plan to hold a third meeting with Hamas soon. Our delegation in Cairo has full authority to reach an agreement with Hamas." Channel 14, Israel. Shin Bet has foiled an assassination attempt on Itamar Ben-Gvir. A 4-member Hamas team reportedly plotted to kill the national security minister and his eldest son, Shoval. Donald Trump, president-elect of the U.S., has appointed Tom Homan to oversee the removal of illegal immigrants, border management. Tom Homan previously served as acting director of ICE for a year and a half during Trump's first term. When a reporter asked him if deportations could be done without splitting up families, he replied, "We'll just deport the whole family." Netanyahu has been working from a secure underground room in his office. Since an assassination attempt on his life in October, Netanyahu has, per security instructions, been spending most of his working hours in a fortified room in the basement of his office, rather than in his regular office upstairs. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you stay updated with the latest news.